I think when you love something and you want to be good at it and you want to succeed at it, you naturally turn to others for guidance, mainly those who have succeeded in this thing before you. And same goes for YouTube. I think there's so many channels out there nowadays that will tell you exactly how to crack the YouTube code. And, props to them. The algorithm has been very predictable in the last few years. It doesn't take, science to be good at YouTube. It's actually very mathematical. There's a formula to it. And as much as those channels can teach you how to break into this sphere of YouTube, there's one key thing that happens afterwards. You're basically following this formula. You basically emulate everyone else. And if the goal behind YouTube is just money, it's like business oriented, you wanna, turn this into a business, you wanna turn this into money-making machine, that works. But what happens when you're a creative person and you genuinely just love creating? If you follow this formula, you lose all of your authenticity in your voice, and it kind of pushes you into a box that's called a niche. Niche is one of the most popular words when somebody, let's not trip and fall. When somebody talks about how to make YouTube a thing, I did the exact same thing. I picked a niche. I followed this niche most of the time. I lost the joy to create. And most of the videos that I put out were normally filmed in like a day. That's also something that the YouTube gurus will recommend. Batch your content so you always have something to post, which means you take one day and you film a bunch of videos and then you schedule them for several weeks in advance. And that way you always have content coming out. There's not a lot of room for like spontaneous stuff, like what I'm doing right now. I haven't done that, and I don't think I've ever done that on this channel, actually. I started creating these videos in a very controlled environment. I wanted to have all the control over how I'm perceived, how I look, down to each angle. It's kind of like painting the same thing over and over and over again, although you love painting, but you're afraid that you're gonna mess up a painting if you paint something else, right? So you end up only painting rocks or trees over and over again. You love the act of painting, but taking risks terrifies you, and you're worried that you're gonna mess up your art, but you can't mess up art. It really doesn't work that way. The point of creating is to create. And I saw this quote the other day. Creating is the reward itself. What happens after is none of your business. Maybe one other activity in my life has ever brought me so much joy when it comes to like expressing myself. I truly feel like this is my music. This is my painting. I've been torn between quitting altogether or just going all in on this one particular topic. It's the only way you're gonna get anywhere. And honestly, I put so much pressure on myself. I burned myself out creating constantly because everything required so much work. So little out of that came from being inspired to create. I wanted to have somewhere where I can point and be like, see, it makes sense that I spend so much time on this. People are watching, people are subscribing, I'm making money. This isn't a waste of my time. That's what I wanted to accomplish. And I killed my creativity. So I didn't know which thing to choose, which of the two options to choose. And I was leaning more towards just quitting. Until I realized recently, I have a third option. I can say, fuck the niche. Fuck everything. The reason why I fell in love with YouTube 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago when it came out, is because of how real people were. People created these badass songs in the comfort of their freaking room. People vlogged going on a walk with their dog and talk about how much they love that dog. And that was it. That was the entire video. It was just somebody pointing a camera at this doggy and talking about how much they love it. And people just being so random and silly. And it captivated me because it gave me hope that you don't necessarily have to always go outside in order to create and have human connection, be silly and laugh and have fun. That you can find this type of fun and connection and creativity within your room, you know? Especially because I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. It made me super excited about the fact that people, you know, are weird and silly, and other humans online like that. And that's what drew me to the internet. What was happening on YouTube back then, I never knew that that was going to be something that was just going to be a distant memory one day. Because like YouTube has changed. YouTube has changed a lot. There's no denying it. It's going to keep on changing, especially now with AI. That shit scares me. It really, truly does scare me how it's going. I mean, we have an actress now that is AI created, that is about to like break into Hollywood. You have all of these AI created YouTube videos. There's so many channels out there that are talking about automated videos, like you make $10,000 a month with automated faceless channels. All you need is AI and non-copyrighted music and like a script that is written by ChatGPT, and you're gonna like make millions in a year. And all of that is like flattening the experience so much. I've seen now, even with casting calls, filmmakers, some of the filmmakers are creating AI trailers for projects that don't exist, so that they get people talking about said projects before they even hire actors. Before they even know how the person's gonna look like, they are creating AI generated trailers, and they are the most abysmal thing to watch. And it's genuinely like, I feel like 70 years old. I'm not even, like, I'm barely in my 30s, and I already have that whole, you know, back in the day, we used to blah, blah, blah. That shit was always told to me by like 50, 60-year-olds when I was like a wild teenager, you know, and I always thought, oh, I wonder if when I'll be 60 or 70, I will be also like looking down on younger generations and keep on telling them that everything they're doing is wrong. And I'm already nostalgic about the days that used to be, because it's changing so rapidly and so freaking fast that I am now at a point where I'm like, I miss 6 years ago. Times were different, and especially when it comes to YouTube, it was extremely, extremely different. How fast everything is progressing, I think we're gonna lose human touch even more. And YouTube is already becoming a place where everybody worries about being in a niche, including myself. Look, I'm not an innocent person here, okay? I fell for it myself. Because being human online is so fucking weird. Like, being perceived by humans online is insane. You know, not to sound pretentious, you know, or anything like that, but 50% of the content that is made out there, I cannot stand. Like, it's probably higher than that, but I'm trying to be nice. The truth is, it's probably more like 80%. The retention-based editing sucks. Anything that is with whoosh and whash and bam and jump cuts and such a fast pace, while there's also like wording on screen and like sound effects in the background, like, I am drained so much watching that type of content. And yes, I did that too. I did that in quite a lot of videos. Look, I don't have really a leg to stand on, okay? Because I have fallen for this shit too, you know? I created so that people would watch. Shocking, like a revelation. Retention-based editing, I hate that shit. But like, so much of the content out there is so hyper, so energetic. Like, you know that majority of people aren't like that in real life. And all of these like zooms and whooshes and all that, if anything, it makes me want to click away from the video. I don't know where social media is going. I genuinely don't know. I can't tell on Instagram a lot of times what is AI now anymore and what isn't. But just apart from that, I just can't, every time I log into social media, I get anxiety and FOMO and nihilism and rage and depression all at the same time. I now have a timer on my social media apps. I'm not allowed, I have an app. I hate this world. I have an app that locks my other apps. And you can't override it unless you go into settings, and I don't feel like doing that ever. So once the timer is out and I have it set for 10 minutes, okay, I'm giving myself 10 minutes of Instagram and 10 minutes of TikTok a day, which gives me enough time to upload something and watch maybe like 2 videos. No, 100, because all of them are 5 seconds now. Okay, calm down, Barbara. Get to the point faster. People are waiting. I also have a block now that after 7 p.m. and before 9 a.m., I can't open social media. I had to do this because it just fills me with rage. I know that back in the day, we went online to escape reality, and now we're going outside to escape social media. The amount of trees that I have seen in the last few years, because I'm trying to not be on social media and I'm trying to like just do anything I can to not be involved with society or social media, is insane. I will go out of my way to drive somewhere so I can see trees several times a week and be alone in a forest looking at the sky. I mean, like, hello, look how pretty. And just be with my thoughts and try to enjoy life. And I don't think the solution is for everyone to just get off social media. I don't think that's the solution. I think more people should start creating for social media a way that is created from the soul, from the heart. So we can get back this connection that we used to have and this feeling of social media that we used to have, which was kind of like where you went if you felt ostracized, where you went if you had a bad day, where you spent your time and you felt welcomed because people who weren't really belonging within their peers in school, middle school, high school, could find a place on the internet to belong. I can't relate to 95% of big content creators out there anymore. I cannot. I think we should all consume less and create more, because the more authentic human content is out there, the better chances we are of ever getting back to a place where this will even remotely still be enjoyable for anyone who isn't an influencer or comes from a rich family. My message to you, if you take anything out of this, is to go create and put yourself out there. It's scary, not gonna lie. The comments are brutal. People will tear you down. People will stomp on you. They will make you wanna wish you were never born or that you were a completely different person. And your instinct will be to change so that you are loved. Don't do that. Do not do what I did. Do not do what I did and flatten your creations into this one whimsical bubble where nothing dangerous and scary ever happens, okay? Go create.